Okay, just started the recording. This is Shelley. It's July 23rd, and we just did introductions. We've got Kate, Michelle, and Annette, and that's only part of our group that's going to national conference. We have a really big group. It's looking awesome. Me and Carol and Ellen, Eve and Darcy, Kate and Michelle and Annette, and then also Shaughnessy and Karen Russell. So we've got a lot of people kind of in our extended group that you maybe have heard the names of, and you'll get a chance to meet. So we're talking about national conference, which we leave next week. For August 1st is the day we most of us arrive. And what I thought we'd do is just kind of go topic by topic, and you let me know if you have any questions about it. And one thing that wasn't on my list that should be is kind of what I was just talking about, and that's like the key players. Do you have questions about who anybody is in the scope of Pampered Chef? Anything I can fill you in on who to look out for, who you want to be sure to say hello to, names you're seeing and you're not quite sure how they connect and fit in with our team. Anybody?
Shelley, we've got Gail Schendelman and we've got Sherry Carr, and I always get them mixed up. In fact, when I was on Sherry's meeting, I said, "Hi, Gail." Right.
That's all right. That's all right. It's really easy to do because we hear about these folks and we don't always necessarily see faces at all. So the way that the lines work is that the person who invited me to Pampered Chef is Ellen, my mom, and she happens to be an advanced director. So she's the next person up. The next person up from Ellen is Gail Schendelman, and she's in Southern California. Michelle has been down to with us to one of the meetings with Gail. So Michelle's been in Gail's living room actually, and she just sold that house this week.
Oh.
Yeah, she's not sure that they're married yet, but they're buying a house and moving on to a new home. So Gail is a senior director, is her management level, and then above her is Sherry Carr, and Sherry is a national executive director. So if you flip open the catalog and find the picture of the national executive team, Sherry's picture's in there, and Sherry is in Valparaiso, Indiana. I always remember that name because I bicycled through Valparaiso, Indiana 31 years ago this summer. We were just realizing, Mom was reminding me that it was the anniversary of us finishing our cross-country ride, and we biked through Valparaiso before I even knew anything about Pampered Chef, and probably right by Sherry's house. So she's a sweetheart. What's that?
Was it Sherry's place that we went to for the pizza party after conference?
Last year there was an event that was held by Marie Friday. And so Marie's home is closer. I think Darien, Illinois is where that is. And Marie, I believe, is above Sherry. She's also they're practically the same level. I think they're the same level. They're both nationals. Yeah. Okay. So the thing you need to know is that if you run into somebody and the name looks familiar, whether it does or not, everybody's super welcoming. Don't hesitate to walk right up to somebody and introduce yourself and say hi and tell them who you are. Okay.
I ran into Sherry Carr last time at a street corner. I was like,
did you?
You were the one who did that 6 weeks to success that I did.
Yeah. And so those folks, their teams are big, so they may not necessarily recognize everybody on site, but they want to meet you. And so do not hesitate to go up and say hello and give them a big hug. And you know, like Annette says, if they've done training that you have been in, I mean, tell them this is how I know your name, right? And say, you know, I'm on Shelley's team, or you know, tell them where you're from, and it's just great networking. Everybody's super willing to share. Jennifer Courtney, the gal who records 6 Weeks to Success videos. You'll find her walking around, and go say hi and give her a hug. Tell her thank you for recording those great videos for us. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions about who's who and who to look for and names you're trying to put into context? Nope. Okay. So again, I've kind of got so here are the topics that I have on my list is the who's who, flights and arrivals, hotels and meals, the app, Sherry's team time, the training after team time, the schedule. I think the schedule change, I've got myself a note that the Saturday schedule change, make sure you got that. There's conference cash I wanted to fill you in, party packs and shipping things home and what you're going to get and what you're going to take home with you. General session, what to do now to kind of get ready for coming home. And I just made myself a note that I need to call the hotel to get a handicap room or confirm that we've got a handicap room. What other areas and topics do you have questions? The other thing is kind of what to pack, what to bring. Do you guys have questions in any particular areas?
Are you going to go down that list or?
That's what I was going to do, but if you have other topics we want to be sure to include, I want to put it on my list so we don't forget. Any other topics that are outside of those things?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess this would come under packing, but I shared that reminder the other day of being able, they'll check your food. And then I posted a question, and I don't think I got an answer on whether it has to be like if you're taking granola bars, do they have to be in the box, the sealed box, or can they be individual? Because they're individually wrapped. I mean,
I've never had trouble with that when I've taken them.
They've changed it recently. When I traveled to Chicago in March for the Lead Plus seminar, and I was surprised. They pulled me aside and they said, we need to look in your bag because there's food in there and we need to examine it. And I'm like, really? They've never had to do that before. And they were granola bars and a baggie of trail mix or something. They didn't take anything. So it would be a good idea for your airline to look up and see what you can carry on, just so that you don't end up having anything that has to be thrown away. Yeah, and you all know that when you go through security, like any liquids that you have to be in a 3 ounce or less size bottle, and they have to only, no more than will fit in a quart size Ziploc baggie. Okay,
and remember, you'll get shampoo and stuff at the hotel, so you don't necessarily have to bring that stuff.
It depends. They're really chintzy. The bottles are bitty, and you're sharing a room. So
True.
Yeah. But I think it was before you got on. Ellen tends to pack only one carry-on. She brings bitty little bits of shampoo. She's counting on whatever is in that hotel room.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys with Michelle, with your oxygen and everything, you've called the airlines. You're cleared for whatever you need to get on the airplane, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Michelle's going in on Tuesday and still staying at the Crowne Plaza. You got a room at the Crowne Plaza, right?
For the first night, yeah. I'm just going to be in a different part of the hotel, so.
That's awesome. So that
when are you arriving on Wednesday? What time?
So I sent a chart that has everybody's arrival times. I've got everybody's except Darcy's. I fly in. My plane lands at 11:30. Carol and I are on the same flight.
And you got to take the train around, right?
Yeah,
then,
we're getting into Midway, Annette, and my plan is to take the train. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be on the home office tour probably by the time you get there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and I'm just going to have to pack up my stuff and have the hotel hold on to it until I meet up with you when I get back. Or
take it to the front desk and just check it with the front desk, just the valet.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. The fact that you don't have to change hotels that makes it way simpler.
Yeah.
Annette, when I did it when I did it last time, we used to take the train from Midway into the hotels in downtown area all the time, but Rosemont's a little bit different. We got off at the train station, and the walk took us kind of like along the exit for the interstate.
Okay.
It was not like there were sidewalks, but it was a walk that I would not have done had I known that it was going to be cars racing by.
Okay.
So, and this is a different hotel. I haven't actually I've seen a real good map, but I think we may be better off just getting an Uber from wherever the train drops us off to wherever that hotel is. That way
That's fine with me.
Shelley, can't you take the bus from there? From the, didn't we take the bus to the train station when we came back?
I thought we did an Uber. Did we take a bus? Was there a shuttle?
Well, it's just a regular town bus and it's free, remember?
You'll have to show me. I don't remember.
I think so. I'm pretty sure, but
Okay.
sometimes I don't know where my car.
So Shelley, my plan is to just meet you guys like at baggage claim because I'll be there about an hour before you.
That's fine.
So,
And you've got my cell phone?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's been the same all along, so I'm pretty sure.
I do.
I put it on that chart, and I'll post that chart again.
Okay.
Yeah, so Facebook, certainly we can communicate through that Facebook Messenger, but for your roommates, I would put you guys put yourself into your cell phones. Yeah, pizza party. Okay. Any other questions about airports or the flights? Okay, is this helpful?
Yep.
So far, so good. So packing what to take. Michelle, you're the only one on the call this is your first time if Darcy's watching. But basically, what would you guys who have been to national conference before, what would you say? Don't forget to pack. Be sure you pack what?
Sweater.
A sweater. That was gonna be mine too.
And a low-key umbrella. or a slicker, something you can wear if it rains.
Yeah, and the thing is that was so funny because every morning we'd leave our hotel and I'd be like, I'm not going to carry this umbrella with me, and so I'd leave it in the hotel until we needed it, and we didn't have it. So yeah, I haven't even looked at the weather yet in Chicago, but do that. Start looking at what the forecast is.
Well, and even with the forecast, it can change because you're on a Great Lake.
It can totally change. They may say like 30% chance of rain, and boom, you just get this torrential downpour. It happens, 10 minutes and it's done.
Mom and Carol that got caught in the rain at the end of the home office. And
the home office tour. They were drowned rats. They were laughing. They were having I swear that storm moved in and it was just torrential.
In other words, don't wear suede shoes.
Yeah, be ready. Don't bring a lot of things, but make sure that you have more than one pair of shoes in case they get wet or in case you rub a blister or something, that you've got an alternative. There's a lot of walking. Kate and Michelle both have arranged for scooters, right? So everybody's going to be jealous of you. In general, it used to be that Doris Christopher was very opposed to blue jeans, and they've loosened up a bit in recent years. So in general, no blue jeans, but you kind of go business casual. I've seen people in shorts and flip-flops, capris and flip-flops. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do all that walking, but my understanding from what Carol said is that they don't have anything at the theater this time, though. So we do not have to hoof it over to the theater and back twice a day. So I think everything's right there in the convention center. Any other questions about what to pack?
That sounds like beautiful. Either way.
No? Okay. If you have, this is the time to break out any Pampered Chef gear that you have. Any water bottles, hats, PC logo, pins, lanyards. You usually get a lanyard and a bag with your name tag, and then people will decorate them up with and things. I mean, look through the stuff that you have, and anything that is fun and festive that, you know, on a normal everyday life you wouldn't even think twice about. Now's the time to break that kind of stuff out. Get fun and silly, and last year we actually did t-shirts, got spoons, right? We did or want a spoon. They were hot pink t-shirts that said want a spoon, and because the spoon logo was brand new at that time. But now's the time to break out any of your bling, any of your fun stuff. Okay. All right. Whose TV is on? If you could either mute or, can you guys hear me okay?
It's probably, I'm at my mom's and they're watching TV in the other room.
Is it? Okay. All righty. So the app is next. Did you guys download the app?
No.
Did, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Okay. When you go to log in, the login is your consultant ID.
Okay.
And then just set it up as a new user. They will email you something to confirm you, that then you click on and it gets you in. So the other thing is that there's supposed to be, there's breakout sessions, right? What do you know about the breakout sessions so far?
Got my list of what I want to go to, but I'm waiting for the app and or the website to post documents for the session.
Documents, right. So and what Kate's referring to is which ones you want to go to. Well, it used to be there were a lot of different choices, different topics, all on various schedules. And you had to pick. You could only attend like 4 breakout sessions, but there were 20 available. So you had to select them. And you had to decide which ones you weren't going to take. Well, what they've done instead is they've made breakout sessions that there's only, I think, 5. And they're holding the same one again and again and again with different instructors. So everybody gets to take every topic. And they've organized it so that even on certain topics like recruiting, I think it is. Actually, let me share my screen and see if I can find my notes from National Leaders Call.
Excuse me. Whew.
Bless you.
Thank you.
There it is. Okay. So National Leaders Call, and I don't, okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, can you see my screen? It's Evernote?
Not yet. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so hold on while I find out where I'm looking. So National Conference, we had a lot of content on the National Leaders Call from last week, and they shared a bunch of stuff about conference. Okay, so online registration is closed, but people can still go. So if you're talking with anybody who wants to go, they can go and register on site. Okay, so starting today, you can download the conference app, and there's maps in there, and it'll lay out the breakout sessions. So you download it, and you can set up your profile, you can put in a picture, you can fill in information about you and give permission to people who can find you. But there's supposed to be handouts that you want to print at home and take along with you.
Okay.
For each breakout session. And those were supposed to be available today, tomorrow-ish. So do you know where to go to find those?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Find them.
So very likely it's the National Conference page. So if you go to Consultants Corner and you click on Full Site, this is going to change, by the way. That in the next couple weeks, there are going to be some other big changes too. So we're kind of going back and forth between the newly designed pages and the older pages. And this is one of the older pages. You'll start seeing some more differences over the next couple weeks. But if you go to the full site and then the banner menu across the top, go to news and events, and then click on training events. This is how you get to the national conference page. So here's training events, and the first one listed is National Conference NC18, and click on get the details right there. And then you click on learn more, and that will take you into the national conference website. And under one of these tabs is going to be the documents, the handouts for the breakout classes. Probably under training. Let's try training. I haven't seen them yet. So here's breakout sessions. So those are the different topics and each one that they're being held. When you get to national conference and you register, you sign in, you'll get a nice color, beautiful booklet that's got a chart that shows you exactly where to go for which sessions at which time. Tasty tidbits. So I'm not seeing a link for any documents yet. Okay. Register. Okay, then there's going to be, in addition to the breakout sessions, there's a tech cafe, and the tech cafes are open on this schedule just for half an hour little bites of different topics, and those are brilliant. So they'll say, like, you know, how do you get started doing virtual parties? How do you get started with ThinkShare? I don't even know all the topics here, but marketing imagery, and they'll have a screen with the website and they'll show you and you'll be able to ask questions. There's maybe 30, 20, 30, 40 people in each session. So take some time when you do find the documents to the handouts for each session. Take some time for each topic and write down your questions. Write down, what do you want to get out of national conference? What do you want to come home having learned? Where are you stuck? You're going to go spend this time, and I definitely caution you, and Kate and Annette can speak to this, that you go and it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much information, right? So if you spend some time ahead of time prioritizing what your specific needs are, what do you want to, when you come home next Sunday, what do you want to have solidly in your pocket for your business that you don't have today? Do you need some help with kind of thinking that through, or are you guys good, or do you want to talk that through?
Yeah, he didn't seem to mind. Actually, he used to have plane tickets to avoid the business down. Here you go. Thanks, Ed.
Okay. There's lots of topics on those breakout sessions. I'm not seeing anything about the handouts though. Kate, did you look in the app and there's nothing in the app yet?
Yeah, it's not in the apps. I went here and went through the tabs. I don't think I went through all of them because, like, register doesn't tell you, but the ones that looked like they would have the docs, and there wasn't anything yet.
Okay.
But what did help me while we're on this is I downloaded this and printed out the session planner.
The session planner. I was just going to say it's linked to it right here at the top.
And went through and marked the ones that I'm interested in, and then compared the times and everything. So I got that part going, so.
Okay. And one thing I did see as a recommendation is for each session that you want to go to, have a backup, a second choice at that session. They're making accommodating plans for having lots of people at each one. But if you walk into one and it's standing room only for whatever reason, make sure you've got a secondary choice ready to go so that you maximize that time. Okay, so these are the breakout sessions, and it's figured out. So breakout session by day, Thursday, August 2nd, 9 to 10 a.m. These 5 breakout sessions are available, or these tech cafe topics. Okay, so and you may go solo, or you may buddy up with a friend, or you may make some friends in each session that you go to the next one with. All right,
Thursday, August 2nd.
Does that make sense?
We have headphones, chair, laptop, 24/7 tech support.
Okay.
If I need some support.
Start there.
Ellen learned a technique early on, like 10 plus years ago, that she uses every conference to this day. And she takes a stack of index cards with her. And if you can, you've got different colors. And as you're going through and you're taking the classes, you put the ideas on different cards. And one set of cards are do it now. They're the things that you learn that, boom, you're going to want to implement first. The most impactful priorities to do now, as soon as you get home. The other cards are do it later. So that's where you capture the ideas that are, well, this is a really good idea, but it's maybe not the one I'm going to jump on as soon as I get home. And so as you go through your breakout sessions, you're kind of capturing those ideas on those cards, and then in the plane on the way home, you can, look, reviewing them and know the ones that you're going to just, boom, jump on as soon as you get home. Annette, did you do that last time?
I don't remember doing it that way, but I know I had like 2 or 3 things that I chose to work on. So right away, I think that the card idea is good though. So I'm gonna definitely do that.
Yeah, do it now card. All right. So conceivably, you could have a notebook that you take with you. And if you're, wildly organized and you want to put tabs on them for each of these breakout sessions, and you're going to attend all of them, 1, 2, I think there's 5. Then you've got the handouts, and then you've got some extra paper for extra notes for that session. Okay, however you tend to, I've usually got my iPad open, I've got Evernote open, and I'm taking notes right into Evernote, and then taking screenshots if they put up something, that I need to take a picture of, and that gets added to my notes. And that's how I tend to do it. You might be, a longhand note taker, in which case you want a notebook. And then maybe some Post-it notes to tab your pages so that you can find things. A highlighter is a great idea. Maybe a couple colored highlighters. Okay. Is this helpful?
Mm-hmm.
Very.
Okay, good deal. Alrighty. Any other questions about the breakout sessions? I'm going to go back to my notes here. Things to remember. There is a charitable packing event on Thursday, 8:30 to 10. And the thing about that is, we're 8:30 to 10 on Thursday. So it's 8:30 to 10. So it takes the place of this first breakout session.
So what is it a packing event of?
Well, let's saw the details. So the way you find information about it is you go to this national conference page, click learn more. Then under details, there's a choice called charitable.
Okay.
Last year, it was a food packing thing. They were packing bags for local homeless people or something along those lines. Charitable. Oh, it's still working on it. This one, it's 8:30 to 10 a.m. on Thursday. Roll up your sleeves and get ready to make a visit. We're packing some of our essential Pampered Chef products to benefit communities in need this fall, and we need your help putting it together. The cost is $15. It's a donation. Helps pay for the event, and you're donating your time, an hour and a half. They need 100 people. Okay. So this is where you would sign up if you're interested in doing that. Carol was very excited about getting signed up for it. She really wanted to do it. She did it last year, said it was awesome. Okay. All right. Okay. Just looking at my notes from our call the other day. There's in the area, all of the restaurants are accustomed to having tens of thousands of people attend conferences at that convention center. They have their drills down. They're ready. They know how to handle and turn those tables over really quickly. So, and they've given really nice wide blocks of time for you to go and have lunch or go and have dinner. There's discounts at some of the local restaurants, and there is going to be a list coming. It'll probably be accessible in the app, but you can get discounts. All you have to do is show your Pampered Chef badge, okay?
Hello, how was New York?
All right. You do need to, we've talked about this a couple times, that Wednesday, August 1st, from Sherry's team time is what time, guys?
4:30.
4:30 to 5:30. It's fast. It's fast, and it's amazing what she accomplishes. Usually our block of time is only 45 minutes. So there will be a room designated for each national executive director, and you want to be right on time. They usually raffle things away, and so you'll be in an environment where they're doing recognition for Sherry Carr's entire downline, everybody who's attended national conference, and that's a great place to meet people because they're in our group, they're in our organization.
So for that, I'd be at Barbara Duke's then, right?
Is that who you are?
Yeah.
She's such a sweetheart. Tell her Shelly said hi.
I will.
Okay. You're not home office direct?
Well, I was, but they put me under Barbara when I went to when Susan left. When Susan retired.
That's better. That's good. She's fabulous. Yes. So you find out and it may not be the same time, Annette. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So then after that, under Sherry Carr's group, then is invited to a training session that has grown over the years. It started out with like 15 people around a table at a pizza place, and now it's like 500, 600, 700, 800 people attend this training. And it's Nancy Joe's training, and they take up like the equivalent of 3 or 4 ballrooms at the convention center with a great big stage and screens. And what she does is she taps various top performers in her entire downline, and there's 10 or 15 of them, and they each get 10 to 15 minutes to talk on their topic. And so Kate and Annette, did you guys go last year?
I wasn't there last year, so I'm trying to think if there was one in 15.
Probably was. It's been going on for a couple of years. Kate, do you remember it?
I'm not clear on it.
It was a zoo. It was standing room only.
Was that on the first? I mean, like the Wednesday? Because I got there. I think that time I got there Thursday, so I probably missed all that. So.
Okay. So it's Wednesday night. It's from 5:30 to 7:30, which means we go 4:30 to 5:30, 5:30 to 7:30. So you've got that entire block of time. You'll probably want to grab a sandwich or something that you tuck in your bag and eat during the training. Pack in something to eat, and then plan to, get dinner after 7:30 after they're all done. But that training, I've had people say, and I don't want to raise the bar and the expectations too awfully much, but I know there's times when I've left that training and said that was that right there was worth the price of admission. It was so worth it. So be ready to take lots of notes, and it's pretty cool. They get real silly and fun and do. Marie Friday usually heads that up for Nancy Joe Ryan. Okay, so other topics about the conference itself. Do you have questions about what you're going to get, what you can buy, what's available, logistics, or logo wear, or any of that kind of stuff? Anybody have questions?
It's all about creating different levels.
I'm good.
Money.
Take money, yeah.
Take money or your debit card, your Pampered Chef debit card, right? I'm looking through my notes. There's the 5 1-hour breakout sessions, tasty tidbits, room for everyone. Yeah, this chart that I'm showing you on my screen right now is kind of what they did with the breakouts. There's a director's training event, and they set it up so that the breakout sessions geared towards consultants is happening while the directors are in our training session. So the two recruiting sessions are kind of geared more towards consultant and directors. Okay, director training. Okay, be sure you go to the conference website and download all the handouts. That's okay. And there's the planners that Kate was talking about. Okay, this is really important. So Kate and Annette will tell you when it comes to general sessions, there's 3 general sessions, and they are like being at a concert. They have a DJ and there's dancing, and it's pretty crazy. And there's a lot of people there. And what they're trying to do is get everybody in and seated. And what has happened over the last couple of years is that people get a little outrageous about trying to save seats. And you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to save seats. But there's not going to be any possibility that all of us are going to be able to sit together. It's just simply not going to happen. So if you pick one person that you want to sit with and go into the general session together and find 2 seats next to each other, and then turn and introduce yourself to the people on your left and the people on your right and the people in front of you and the people in back of you, and make friends.
Yep.
Make some new contacts. That's one of the most valuable things about going to national conference. So you just need to know that no one should be saving seats at all.
He just told me what was bothering me.
Okay. So there are a couple unfortunate, incidents, and we just don't want to have. We're all one great big happy family, and you're going to leave here having more Pampered sisters than you ever had going into it.
Okay. Last year there was a little bit of people were questioning whether me and a couple of the other people, we all sat there with you and Ellen in the hard of hearing section.
Mm-hmm.
I got that straightened out, but what I did this year was I went ahead and told them that I needed to sit in that seat with a tablet. And so I don't know if you have any advance information on that about, are we going to be able to have someone with us like they did last year? You could have the person who needs the tablet and somebody else.
And a buddy. That's the other thing I was going to address. So Ellen, when you meet Ellen, if you haven't, and all 3 of you have met Ellen, she can't hear anything. She can't hear at all, period. I mean, in a quiet room, she has 5% hearing in one ear and 0 on the other. So she gets the hard of hearing tablet so that she can read along with the scriptist, because she can't hear it from the stage. And they have a section for both visually impaired and hearing impaired. So Kate, you'll want to ask them. But you and Michelle with your scooters, you definitely, if you haven't signed, when you registered, if you didn't tell them that you're coming with a scooter, you need to call. Call and let them know that you're coming with a scooter for a disability, mobility disability. And they have places where they can, and they'll guide you. They'll tell you. They'll probably even put like a little button or something on your name tag so that staff knows that you're going to need some assistance getting in.
Who do I call?
Right now, call. So go to that home office, go to the national conference page.
Mm-hmm.
And
when I signed up, I didn't have a scooter. And things deteriorated since then, so.
Oops. Okay. So back to this. So you're on this page and you're clicking on Learn More. You're going to the Pampered Chef National Conference. Details, schedules, trainings, register, news. Details, register. Okay. So there is when you got your registration confirmation, go back to the email that you got, because there's probably there's a phone number for the events department, or simply call Pampered Chef tomorrow and say, who do I talk to about national conference, because I'm coming with a scooter. I have a disability. I have an oxygen tank and I have a scooter. And so I want to make sure that my registration reflects that, so that if there's any particular place I can go to get easily in and out of the general sessions or the workshops, that I can do that.
Okay.
So do that. Yeah, do that prior to next week. Okay. They will do everything possible to help you, but if they don't know that you need help, then there's nothing, like, you know, then it'll be confusing at the time, and you don't want to spend time there figuring it all out. You want to spend time learning and interacting with people.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not seeing specifically, unless you click on register again and edit your registration might be the place to go, but I would just call. They'll direct you.
Okay, thanks.
So if you've
Yeah, Shelley, I just looked at my confirmation email and it doesn't have a phone number there, so I just call home office and tell them what I needed. They'll direct you to the right place.
Okay, yeah, they'll direct you.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right, what else? So general session, and okay, so you know now that you're going to print out your guide, your summary to the sessions, and kind of think that through. You're going to think through what your objectives and what specific topics and specific questions you want to target. I know there was the year that Ellen and I were both trying to promote to director, and I was really close and Ellen wasn't. And so she went to national conference with 150% of her focus was on how do I promote to director within 3 months. And every conversation she had with people, that's what she brought up and asked about. What is your best recommendation? What steps should I take? What should I be doing? What did you do? And so if you have kind of use this opportunity to look at your business and really evaluate your business and figure out what it is you're missing, where you're headed, what you're trying to accomplish. Is it that you need to increase your show average? Is it that you're trying to get more into the virtual parties and you don't know where to start? Is it that you need to recruit? Is it that you want to take your family on a free trip next year? So figure out not too many, but a couple key priorities, and then drill deeper on each of those so that you can stay focused and come home with something super tangible. Sound good? Kate, did you do that last trip?
Oh, I didn't. I focused on which breakout sessions I wanted. I didn't think about the specific details.
Yeah, it's like, what's your goal? You know, kind of a hokey thing to say, but really, what is your goal? You're putting an investment in time and money, and this time 2 weeks from now, you're gonna come home and it potentially could feel like, oh my God, overwhelming. What do I do?
Like, where do I start?
Where do I start?
Yep.
So if you use some of these tools that we're talking about, it will help. I know personally, every time I go to conference, it's this interesting thing that happens during the course of the 3.5 days. I get there and it's like, wow, and it's so neat, and then I crash. I fall to pieces. I feel like inconsequential little piece of this great, big, massive, wonderful thing. And so I crash, and it usually takes me by surprise. And then I have to just kind of go through that, and then I rally myself and I get back into it, and it all works out great, but it always happens. And it's just something that I now know to expect. But it's this kind of like, you start up really high and then I go super, super low, and then it creeps up and it all works out great. But so just be aware, it's a big event, and it all of a sudden, if you're your own consultant in our own little team, and suddenly you start getting a different perspective. So embrace that and dive into it. Training party packs. Okay, so are you guys familiar with party packs and the logo store?
To a degree.
Yeah. Kate, did you take advantage of party packs last time?
Yep. I got
What
one.
are they? What are they?
You can get a box. It's a surprise box. You don't know what's in it until you buy it. And they have, I saw $25 and $50 ones available this time. Free last time. But anyway, what you just
called Ryan.
you go up and you tell them I want to get this size box, and they give you the box, and then you get to open it and see what's the wonderful stuff inside. And if you're really lucky, you get a golden ticket. So you can take it up and get something really, really special. I didn't get one, but Barbara got one last year.
Oh my! Oh, that's right. She got like a whole brand new free skillet with her golden ticket. Dang, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh, I'm so.
And you ship them home. You don't have to worry about dealing with it on the plane or on the scooter, for that matter, Michelle.
Yeah.
You can ship it right from there.
Yeah, they have FedEx on site, and for a box that's under 50 pounds, it's $10, and it will just land on your doorstep in a couple days.
Which
So,
just makes the whole experience that much longer. You get to enjoy Christmas even more.
yeah, exactly. So that's a really neat thing. So if you're into party packs and products, sometimes there's new products, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're amazing things. On the app right now, I did notice that. So there's a logo store, and what I did glance at the app, so I downloaded it and got logged into it earlier today. And there's a whole section that will show you. There it is. So it looks like that, Pampered Chef app, right? And you get all logged in, and you can go and see galleries. And under galleries, there's PC gear, and there's pictures. Can you see it all? Pictures of at least the first, 12 or so different things that are going to be available in the PC gear store. But they said that there will constantly be new items being added. So they may start Wednesday with something, they may start Thursday with something, that Friday they have something new. You want to check it often. So if you are, strategizing that you want to get a t-shirt or a bag or a hat or something like that, you can check out now what's already available, and the designs are adorable. They're super cute.
Yeah, I'm not getting any choices like that. It didn't even come up for me to log in.
Okay, so when you...
This is what I got.
So you're on the website. Is that the website?
No, this is just the app that I downloaded from the store. I did an update because I had it last year.
It's a new one. I did that too. I went into the old one, and it's a new one. Yeah. So my last one says "Make It Great." It's from a couple years ago. So go to the App Store and look at the email that they sent you. Wasn't it in an email from earlier today? Follow that link.
Okay.
Okay, or follow those instructions. Okay. And so it prompts you consultant ID, and then it sends you a temporary password. And then you log in, and it prompts you to change your password.
Okay.
Okay. Then
so what's that? Is it national conference or is it PC events?
I don't remember what I did to find it.
That's okay. I'll get it out off the email.
Okay.
I think it's PC events.
So 10:30 this morning, Pampered Chef, they sent an email, download the app, stay connected at conference, go to the App Store, and you're looking for the NC18, National Conference 18.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm forwarding this to you.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, do you guys have it? Okay, so once you're in there, though, once you're in there, oopsie, there's activity feed. There's a little menu in the top left-hand corner. You click on that, and there's a whole bunch of choices. Where I just was called galleries. And so there's a PC gear gallery with pictures of PC gear. There's something called Thursday Chef Shop, and there's all kinds of Pampered Chef products listed. Okay.
Somebody's at the door.
And then there's a consultant contributed photos. So there's a place where consultants can add pictures. So play with it a bit. Do it before next week. All right, and use our message thread on Facebook to ask questions about it if you have questions. Okay, if you're really stuck, call home office. Call tech support, they'll help you with it. All right.
Yeah, because I'm not finding it.
Yeah, I'm not getting through either, so I'll call tech support.
Okay. I don't remember how I got to it now. I just followed those. I don't remember how I got to it. All right. Call August general session seating. So I've covered everything that was on my list with one exception, and that is, what do you do now to make sure that you're not having regrets the day when you get back home or sitting there in national conference? Because what will happen? What's that, Kate?
Bookings.
Bookings. Yeah. Bookings. So Kate and Annette, what was your situation when you went to your last conference? When you sat there in the auditorium and heard them talk about the incentives for the month of August that were for you for attending national conference, were you ecstatic or were you like, crap, I don't have any parties? I mean, what was your situation?
I think for me, it was probably the latter.
Me too.
You too? Okay,
Yeah.
and how did you feel?
Dumb.
Well,
Like Schindler, I could have done more.
okay. Well, today is Monday, and conference starts next Wednesday/Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, knowing what you know from last time and kind of helping your friends who are first timers, Michelle and Darcy, and even those who aren't first timers, I have 3 shows scheduled for August. And if you're going to be sitting there in the conference and they are going to be handing you absolute huge, fabulous things for your August hosts and your August people to sign up, or your August guests, if you have them. You are armed with that information now. So the idea is that we go and we find out all of the things, new products that will launch September 1st. But if you sit when you get home and you don't employ all those things that you learned and take advantage of the month of August, September will be nothing. It's August that's going to get you your September business. That's the way it works. So now is the time to do absolute monster booking blitzes multiple times a day between now and when you get on that plane. So if you could have the most ideal schedule for yourself, knowing that cancellations happen, what would you like to be able to say that your August calendar looks like? I mean, how many would you like to have on your calendar?
Well, for me, the way it's been going, I'd like to have at least 1, but I know that means have 3. So
Yeah. So what do you say, Annette? Is that a goal for you? Is to have 3 booked?
Yep.
So if I write that down, Annette's goal is to have 3 booked before she leaves for conference.
Yep.
Okay. What are you going to say? What are you going to? How are you going to approach that?
Don't know yet.
How about you, Kate? How many would be reasonable? And what are you going to say? What are you going to offer? What do you have to offer for the month of August before we even know about National Conference?
I actually wrote this down this afternoon. I haven't gotten it out to people yet, but what I wrote was, I'm so excited to share. I'll be at Pampered Chef National Conference August 1st to 4th. And when I return, OMG, there will be so many good things to share with you. Let's get your friends together. And how does that sound? It needs a little tweaking, but
You're on it. Basically, you know, you could talk about the fact that there's 50% more in free for August hosts. Or you could talk about the fact that there's 60% off 5 different choices, one of which is the knife block set, and the other is those 2 stainless steel pans, right? And the other is, gosh, I'm trying to remember, what are the other ones? You know, you could talk about those, but people will respond to excitement and news. So if you call some of your customers and say, I have invested in my business and I'm heading to Chicago to National Conference next week. I would love to have you and your friends be the first to get all the news when I get back. I've got August 6th and 9th available. Which one would you like to take? You will. You'll be full of news. You'll have all the news before anybody else. So this is not rocket science. This is our base core skill. You will learn how to do it better next week at conference. But basically, there's certain things you need to have in place. You need to know what your dates are. You need to know what you're offering to cook, what your theme parties are. You need to know who to call and what to say. 4 things. How are you feeling about those 4 items?
Easy.
My issue is the dates. I'm almost don't have many dates to offer. So multiple parties, like a single party with multiple hosts. Okay. Or if you're driving to Pleasanton for a 1 o'clock party and know you're driving home through Walnut Creek, schedule them back to back so that you know you're driving through and you could do one and then stop and do the other one. We're talking efficiencies, right? Dual hosts, multiple hosts, co-hosted party, 3-way hosted party, 4-way hosted party. I did a 4-way hosted party last year. The 1,500, a 900, and a 600.
Wow.
1 party, 3 hosts. $3,000 in sales.
Kind of upped your per hour
Yep.
pay scale there.
Yep. You got to be efficient.
This is really
Okay. Is this helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard from Annette. Annette's after 3. Has that changed? Are you still at 3, Annette?
I'm going to hang with 3, but we'll see.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get there.
Okay. Awesome. How about you, Kate? What's your goal for August?
I always struggle with this because I have, recovery days. But
Okay.
I'm going to say 3.
Okay. Target 3. To have 3 books, which means that you'll hold 2. Right? Okay. And how about you, Michelle? How many do you want to book for August prior to leaving for conference?
I'd like to say 5, but that's one of the main reasons I'm going is to get booking help.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's a push now, and then certainly when you get home, you will be well equipped to ramp it up. You'll probably even have a different goal. You might even have a different goal by the time you get home. So not a problem. But my best recommendation for you is don't sit passive this week and just go to conference and expect to come home and get a bunch of bookings. You certainly can, but you get home on the 4th. The next day is the 5th Sunday. The next day is a Monday. So much is going to start to happen. We're going to get products. You can suddenly I'll wait till my products get here, and then I start working with them. And then before you know it, it's August 20th. It's August 25th. And you've got nothing. And you're going to regret it. And I don't want you to have to feel that way. I don't want you to do it. And I know because I've done it. I've done it. So book some parties to happen before the 15th of August so that you've got some places to go and share that excitement. You're going to come home excited. And you're not planning to take the new products with you to these August parties. What's going to happen? Would you guys like, so as we finish this up, we're almost done. As we're almost done, I've got inside news for you. Did you guys see anything about, actually, I think it comes out tomorrow. So what kind of information are we looking for, Kate and Annette, this time of year going into August?
Fall products.
The fall products, and those launch September 1. But what information do we need to know that's going to help us for August, which is the last month of our spring?
The discontinued items.
The discontinued items, exactly. So that hits tomorrow. And I will tell you that I am privy to some information, and I'm looking for it.
I know some of them because I got them with, off of Kathy Armalea's website.
Did you?
Yeah.
Awesome. What did you hear?
Well, the one that struck at me, it was just shocked me, was the ice cream in the quick-sickle makers.
Oh, I didn't hear anything about that. Do tell.
Yeah, I had to go back and look at it again. I'm going, I can't believe it.
What about them? What about them? They're being discontinued?
Well, it says discontinued or restyled, I guess.
Restyled, okay.
You know, we don't know which is which.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen and tell you here's what I'm privy to. You guys invested this time with me. I'm going to share. All right. There are going to be 16 dropped products and 8 restyled. And the restyled items will be while they last. So if the restyled products run out on August 14th and you've booked the end of August, those folks will not be able to order them. Okay, it's while supplies last or until August 31st. So 16 that are going fully away and 8 that are being revised. Of the revised, the ones that are going to be restyled, the double burner grill and griddle, they're going to change them to the new cookware style. I had a party on Friday night and she booked in order to get the double burner grill pan. We're making fajitas. And she wants that double burner grill pan, and she's going to be able to get it for 60% off. And it's going to change, but this is the one that she wants. And it's discounted. Those 2 pieces, the price has been dropped on those. Okay. So the double burner grill pan and the double burner grill. Also, the microwave pieces are going to be restyled. The small and large micro cooker, the shallow micro cooker, and our rice cooker plus, our beloved rice cooker plus is going to be restyled. And the last piece of info that I was privy to is that the grill, glove, and silicone oven mitt, they're going to discontinue just selling them as singles. They're only going to sell them as sets of 2.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense, like the stackable cooling racks, you know?
Yep.
All right. So that's the info that they shared with us, but the discontinued list should hit tomorrow, and that's what you focus on for early August. Okay? Get them before they're gone. Okay. All right. What questions do you have? You guys excited?
Yep.
There
To be honest, I'm more excited about seeing you guys, though.
Oh, hugs. Oh my gosh, yes. For dorm rooms now, hotel rooms, that kind of stuff, you know, pack in, again, you'd have to check it, but pack in bars, snacks, things like that. We usually kind of just combine our stuff and everybody shares, and the pizza night, Friday night, we're doing our pizza night. Annette, you're coming, right?
I think so, as long as there's not a Duke thing.
Okay. If there's a Duke thing, we give you permission to miss it, no problem. But the idea is it's going to be Kate and Kate, we made these arrangements before you were in our room. We're having a party in our room on Friday night, Kate. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Kate and I will run around in circles on our scooters.
I was going to say, we may have to park your scooters in the hallway because I'm up to 13 RSVPs.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's cool, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so count me in for now as a tentative at least, but
Okay, I will. I'll put you on my list. No problem. But and actually, that's really, really neat because Michelle Rossi is coming. She's an advanced director, and she is a wealth of good ideas. Pick her brain, and she will. You get her on a topic, she will share and share and share and share and share and share. Yeah, is really awesome that way. And I've known her for a decade or more. And then also Cindy Golding. So pay attention to that name, because when Sherry announces the top seller of her entire organization, Cindy Golding will be 1, 2, or 3 probably. She sells like $130,000 a year. That's twice what I sell typically. And that's a ton of Pampered Chef, and you got to have really good systems in place. So quiz Cindy Golding. She did one of our training calls on the last Director Bound program. But she will be at our pizza party with another director and 3 of their consultants. Okay, so it'll be good time to share. All right. Okay, well, guys, this is marvelous. We'll stop the recording and say bye to everybody who's watching the recording. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Bye, everybody. Say bye.
bye.